Obviously it was disappointing for you guys because for the first 32 minutes it was kind of a neck and neck deal on Wednesday night, and then 8 minutes, no field goals. When you guys go through these scoring droughts, also affected you against A&M. Do you think it's as much a mental thing when you were in an offense that was flowing and then it kind of stalls out? What do you think has been kind of the biggest factor when you guys are going through these droughts?
Really, I have no idea because I really don't realize that we're not scoring for that long until the end of the game when Coach brings it up in the locker room. But that's a huge problem. That's something that we need to fix. I think we'll work on that Saturday for that game against Texas. Make sure we score consistently because our defense is working. It's just the scoring part.
Things like that contagious?
Yeah. It seems like it it happened in A&M, then it happened again at Iowa State. We just got to stop that.
Do you think it's ever like a leadership thing to have somebody to say, listen, we were doing it for this long, we were in a flow, let's just stop and realize what we're doing and continue scoring again?
Yeah, really, like at the Iowa State game, Ty was hot. He was hitting threes like back to back, and then we just switched it up, and other people started shooting, and we really didn't focus on getting him shots like we should have. I think that could have helped in the second half if he would have got hot too. And I was scoring a little bit, and Luke and Bean could have shot some threes from the outside, and it helped us.
As frustrating as that second half was, the things you guys done in the first half and at points in this year, you feel like you're getting closer, getting better?
Yeah, every day we're getting better. And Coach lets us know that, and that's a confidence boost. And we realize it ourselves. We're working hard every day in practice. We're getting better defensive, but like I said, in offense, we just got to be able to score consistently.
I saw a couple times at the Iowa State game where, you guys were kind of jawing back at them, and not like in a trash way, but it seemed like you guys are kind of, I guess maybe the word is, are you guys a little bit more confident with yourselves in terms of, your toughness? Coach has talked a lot about how that's improved. Are you taking that into games a little bit more, and do you see that from your teammates?
Yeah, and it's such a young team. Everybody's their confidence is building up. It's the end of the season and stuff, and they played in the games. They're used to the Big 12, and they know how competitive people are. So you have confidence around this time of the season.
Texas has been really inconsistent this season. Is that something you're hoping to take advantage of?
Of course. Because any win we can get, we need that win, and them being inconsistent, that'll help us out. It'll help us out. My bad. I didn't know what to say.
Are there certain teams you look forward to beating more than others? Teams like Texas?
Yeah, with Lou, he's been here 4 years and never beat Texas, and I've been here 3 years and haven't beat Texas, and that'd be great to beat them here at home, and that's a rivalry.
Jay, do you have a little bit more confidence in yourself than you had in the beginning? Because I know that you've always known about your abilities, but in terms of your kind of being able to improve as an offensive leader, is it a confidence thing with you? Have you gained some of that since this year started?
Yeah, I can say I gained a little bit of confidence. Like I said, the season goes on, and I get more comfortable playing. I've also got healthier since the beginning. I had an injury. That helped out a lot.
Coach, I asked kind of Jay a little bit about this, and I don't think you realize when you're in a game what kind of your scoring droughts are, but to be neck and neck for 32 minutes and then 8 minutes without being able to get a field goal, what do you think has been the biggest problem with these droughts that are 5, 6, 7 minutes long?
Well, first of all, they've done really well to put themselves in a position like the A&M game, get a good lead, and then didn't score many points in the second half. And the other night played really well for 32 minutes on a very difficult place to play. And in the last 7:58, we didn't get a bucket. And we just have to continue to be aggressive. We were making some shots early, especially over there at Iowa State, but same against A&M. We have to be able to understand that when they turn the defensive pressure up, then we have to execute even better. And if you go back and look at both of those situations, go to look at the Oklahoma game over at Oklahoma, and there's been some other instances where we got shots in the paint, didn't make them. And when you get it close to the basket, you have to finish plays. We got to be much better in the paint. If you don't get a bucket, then you should definitely be going to the foul line for 2 shots, and we haven't been doing that at all. So we got to do a better job there. We had some wide open shots from the perimeter, especially at Iowa State, that we didn't make. We did the same thing against A&M, but you got to continue to make shots. And then one thing that our team probably lacks a little bit is a guy that can just go make a play without a play being called. And that's not a disrespect to our players. There's a lot of teams that don't have that guy, but just somebody that can make something out of nothing. And we really have a hard time doing that, and either off the dribble or in the post right now. So, but we're getting better at all phases, but that's something that we lack. My last year at Texas A&M, we had AC Law. We played a lot of good games. He outscored our opponents in the last 5 minutes of the game for the season. Unbelievable deal. I would like to say that's really good coaching, but it wasn't. It was really good playing. And then when we went to Kentucky, had Patrick Patterson the first year, Jody Meeks the second year, and those guys could just make something out of nothing. And we'll develop a player like that or a player or two like that. But so far, when we have those scoring droughts, we'd like to have somebody just say, "Okay, I'm going to do that." Bean's probably the closest guy that we have on our team that can go make something out of nothing. But so far, we haven't been able to do it very well.
That was my exact next question. So.
For Lou's sake and some of the older guys that haven't beaten Texas, how much would this mean to get that for them?
Yeah, you'd have to ask them, but I tell you, I love coaching Lou, and I love coaching him. There's never been a more team-oriented guy. There's never been a guy that's a better teammate. There's never been a guy in the history of any sport, I promise you, and that's with total respect to everyone who's ever played a team sport. But he's been the best teammate. He's been the best guy to coach. He's been every single thing you could want, and you want him to do well, and you want him to do well every single game. And for them to not have achieved something against a big rival, you'd like to see it happen before it's over. It's not over yet, and so we have a big opportunity tomorrow. And you always want what's best for those guys, and you definitely want to see them leave happy. His career here is coming down to a close very rapidly, and he deserves every single thing that he can get, and we're going to try to honor him with our play.
Coach, Texas has been really inconsistent this season. Do you see a potential good matchup there for you guys to get a win?
I don't see inconsistency. I see a young team. They're a very young team, just like we are. And as far as I think they're playing really well right now. And like our team, I think our team has improved so much defensively, and we still have a hard time scoring, but we have really improved defensively. For the most part, we're in the right spot most of the time now, and that's hard to do with young players. And what they've been able to do, they've had a lot of guys that are young, that are freshmen, that are playing a ton of minutes. Jacobin Brown's not young, Wayne Meany's not young, Chapman's not young. Those guys are good, but they're really good, but they played a lot of freshmen in those other spots, and they've been really good defensively. They were really good before we played. They were good when we played them, and they've improved since that time. And so I don't, sometimes the ball doesn't go in for them too. That's where the inconsistency may be. But as far as the effort and as far as the defense, it's one of Coach's better teams, I think. And the future is going to be very, very difficult tomorrow. But the future for them, he's really building something special again.
Are you kind of seeing, you still got 2 years here after this, what kind of potential Jaye could have as a player in this league? I mean, just from the start of the year, from my vantage point, the improvement has been pretty vast. What do you see in terms of his potential going forward?
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, because it's been a learning situation for me this year watching him play. He's a unique guy. He's a small forward. He's got a small forward's body, but probably more of a big forward's game with a small body, and need to either turn into a small forward or get bigger and be a big forward. But he has a unique ability to be quick with the ball around the basket. Had we been able to finish, or if we'll be able to finish plays, and had we been able to finish plays around the basket, he's real nifty with his passes in there. We're still learning how to play together. I know it sounds crazy, but we played a lot of games, and we're still learning how to play together with each other. But he's real nifty with passes and finishes in the lane, and he could play with his back to the basket. He shoots the basketball well. He definitely needs to continue to improve his ball handling and those kind of things. But he's a good defender. He's probably the best help defender we have on the team. He talks better than anyone on our team defensively, and he's a rebound guy. He's a very, very consistent rebound guy, and so he's continued to get better. I mean, I look forward to coaching him as we move forward when he's going to be totally 100% healthy. Just he's had nagging stuff all year long, stuff that you don't need to sit out for, but stuff that really keeps you from playing probably your best. And there's been glimpses where he was just really fantastic. He made a couple moves the other night in the game that were extremely quick moves that are very hard to guard for anybody, any size. And so he's improving as we are, and we look forward to the future.